Hello, this is Eric of Not Bio Studio, and today I'm reviewing the Maono DGM20, and this is a USB microphone at less than $40 USD. So it's super affordable, and we're going to hear how this sounds, RGB, and all your fixins are on this microphone, including a headphone port. And the microphone I'm talking to you on right now is another Maono microphone. This is the PD100. And in the packaging, we have silica. The choice to use this was clear. User manual. And that also has our QR codes on the back for some other information. We also get a USB cable, type A USB to type C to the microphone on this particular end. For comparison's sake, I'm now speaking to you on the Sennheiser MKH50, and this is a $1,200 USD microphone, also reviewed on this channel, by the way. And we can see here the USB cable included with this Maono device is a USB-A, but if we flip it open, it becomes a USB Type-C connection to the PC as well. Smart design on the part of Maono to give us multiple options. We also have a mount, so if you wanted to go to a boom arm, we simply connect this accessory that comes with our microphone. Sweet deal. And the microphone itself comes fully assembled just like so. We have a swivel here that allows us to move it around. And it does have little gears, so it will stay in place pretty good. So once we clamp it in with our little screw holder here, it holds in place nicely. We also have volume control right here. And for headphones, we can see that right up here. We also have controls, touch controls on the top, and our USB hidden on the back end. Now let's get this powered on and hear how this sounds. Now one question I do have is, does this work with a mobile phone? Well, let's find out. Well, I'll be gosh darn crazy. Let's see how this works when I actually record to a mobile phone. This is a test of this USB microphone right down here to my mobile phone and here if it's coming through. And just to confirm if it's coming through. And now just press the mute it just to confirm, double confirm. So how does this sound connected to my Xiaomi 12X mobile phone using the Android Open Camera app? Right now we are hearing the audio of this USB microphone. How am I coming through? Let's do a quick test in terms of distance. How am I coming through right here, right against the microphone? Probably not as good because you're not supposed to talk normally this close. And then if you go a little further, that's normally the sweet point. And let's go 1 foot away from this microphone. How am I coming through? And now I am 2 feet away from this USB microphone. How am I coming through? And so let's test that mute button when we actually speak to see how it goes. Be unmuted right now. So how was that? And one thing we could also do is change our RGB. And here's one setting. We turn it red, orange, yellow, green, this blue color, light blue, and a nice royal blue almost, like blue, and a violet color, or purple you may call it. And this one as well that changes colors. That's pretty cool actually. And then we have one that breathes. This would be called breathing. Now one thing I want to test out is how the mic gain works. Always when you turn up the volume near max, you're always going to hear some hiss in the audio. But let's listen to the silence as I turn it from lowest. Right now with the lowest setting, I don't know if you can hear a darn thing, but let's listen to the silence. Now, if I turn the volume up right loud, we're going to hear me way too loud as I go way up here. And that's max volume. Now, if we're a game streamer or podcaster, maybe this is how it's set up the device here to actually have it set up overhead. How am I coming through? Right now, I'm about a foot and a half or a foot and just a little less than a half away. And I'm not talking directly into it as I am off to the side versus talking right here, right up close. And I'm off to the side again. So there we go. This is a mounting option you may choose to have. In terms of the headphone port itself, there's a little bit of hiss, but it's fairly clear, but a little bit muffly. And of course, one thing I do want to test is how it sounds as I turn it down. And turning it down and turning it up does control the volume to the headphones. And of course, as I turn it up as well, I can hear more audio hiss. And I haven't played this back yet, so I don't know how accurate it is. But I do know that this microphone is pretty darn clear, so the headphone port is just an idea of how it sounds. I believe the headphone port does have a bit more hiss than the sound itself, and the audio does not seem to be delayed at all. So that is an amazing plus. There's a slight bit of reverb, but it kind of gives a cool sound to what you hear. If I want to use this for game streaming, the question is how much it rejects the sound around it. It is now time to do a noise rejection test. If I boom arm this microphone, it is hard to go around this particular cable where that boom arm is located. So we're going to do like this, and I'm going to try not to move this around. The point is finding out how the volume drops off, or does it stay the same, talk to the front or the back. So let's do this. This is a mic test from the front. This is a mic test from the top. This is back to the front, and we are now underneath the microphone. And we are back to the front. Let's check 90 degrees. How am I coming through at 90 degrees? And I'm now talking at the back. How am I coming through to the back of the microphone versus the front? And that's your noise rejection test for rejecting noise around it, to find out if it's going to be good for, you say, game streaming. So if you can hear a lot at the back end, if this is facing your computer, the back end, you'll know if this is going to be for game streaming or maybe just your podcasting or whatnot. And I don't know how this is going to turn out. So you be the judge and I'll be the judge on playback. One thing I should note is if you're playing audio back on your computer and you connect this microphone, the microphone itself can take over as a playback device. And this means you'll have to connect your headphone to this to listen to your audio played back on your PC, or simply select your PC speakers as the output device. When it comes to build quality, this is made of plastic. It's very lightweight, and it seems to be just fine for what it is. It doesn't feel like anything's really going to break, but it doesn't feel really expensive. It, of course, isn't very expensive, though the build of this is quite smart in terms of the fact I can use it to a boom pole. It includes the cable, includes an adapter that is Type-C to Type-A, and it's Type-C to the microphone. You can use your own cable as long as it's data type. And for booming overhead, well, that'll be a clear choice that you can make. Now, in terms of the shock mount, does it work? It does help definitely for handling noise a bit. It's not world-changing, but of course, it's also affordable. Though the sound is a little bit on the higher end of things, but for the price, no complaints there. And finding the price point itself, it was about $35 USD. But of course, different models, different sellers will have a price point that can differ a bit. Now, would I recommend it? For the price point, sure, you really can't go wrong. A lot of affordable microphones may not even have a headphone port. Some do have separate volumes, but the main thing for a microphone is the audio quality. This is Eric of Not Bios Tech Reviews. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a most wonderful day.